AI. Everybody is talking about it these days. I see a lot of videos popping up asking the same question. Will AI take over our jobs? I wanted to take some time to think about this and give you my perspective as a mixing and mastering engineer. Like other engineers, I see more and more plugins coming with AI-based features. Think about SSL, Sonible, and of course, Master Assistant by iZotope's Ozone. And then there are companies offering AI mastering for a really cheap price, and actually they can sound pretty good. I even did a video where I tried to beat the AI masters. If you want to see that, I'll leave a link to that video in the description. A while ago, I was actually thinking AI might be taking over our jobs in the next 3 or 5 years. I did some research and I also saw Jason Joshua shared the same thoughts, and coming from someone at that level, that really made me think. I also talked with friends coming from the music industry and they weren't positive either. And other friends use AI to generate demos or rely on the Master Assistant by iZotope's Ozone. Luckily, they don't release those versions. They still are coming to me for their final mix and master. But the more I think about it, the more I think AI will take over parts of our jobs and not the entire job. And honestly, AI already makes us do our job faster and more efficiently. I think hobbyists or artists who are just starting out are more likely to use AI mastering, and that makes total sense. The more professional you get, the more you develop your own sound and the more you want to have control over it. How AI works, it collects a lot of data, follows targets and reference curves. For example, if you want to have a loud master, it will just push limiting. It will not look at the track like, hey, maybe we need to have some more clipping, maybe we need some more saturation. And also what AI doesn't do is giving you feedback. For example, if you want to have a really punchy kick, but your kick is out of phase, it will not tell you that your kick is out of phase. It will just follow the prompt you asked it to do. And that is just mastering. For mixing, it's a whole other story. As far as I know, AI isn't mixing in a DAW that is tweakable after it delivered the mix. So for example, if you want to have less sub and more guitar in your mix, it will generate an entire new mix. AI doesn't do revisions, it just regenerates. And because of that, I think it's going to take a long time before AI is going to take over our jobs. That said, AI assisted features are in our plugins already. AI can suggest how many compression you need on a vocal, or you can just slam the Master Assistant by Ozone on a stereo bus and you can release that track. But again, the more professional an artist gets, the more it will want to have that human touch on a mix. Also, I think singers or songwriters want to focus on songwriting and performing and don't want to spend hours mixing or tweaking an EQ. They will just hire someone who knows what they're doing. Where I do see AI becoming super useful is for editing. Imagine a DAW that scans your tracks for S's and T's, marks them so you can tweak them manually. If that is possible in the near future, I will definitely use that because that saves me tons of time. And I already use AI for stem separation. For example, when I receive a track that needs mastering and I think the vocal needs a bit more processing, I'll just stem separate the instrumental and the acapella, do some processing on the acapella and master the whole track. That gives me so much more control over it and helps me to get better results. I also used Master Assistant by Ozone as a second pair of ears. I mastered the track, inserted Ozone 11, let it scan, and looked at the EQ curve and the stereo image. In most cases, I ignored the dynamic part. Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. But for some reason, it always suggested more bass and more higher frequencies. So the answer to the big question, will AI take over our jobs? I don't think so, at least not in the near future. And not for all of our clients. I do think professional artists want to have full control over the sound, and I don't think AI is able to fully understand that yet. It just looks at numbers and not at intentions or emotion. But when DAWs start to integrate AI assisted features that are tweakable into the mix session, then I think things are about to change. And I think at that point we have to adapt to it, or otherwise we'll be left behind. I do think it's super cool that FabFilter released their Pro C3 without any AI features, so I do think there is still hope for us. This is my take on this. Let me know how you think about this. I'm really curious about how other people think. Thanks for watching. My name is Moxie Mappy, and I'll see you on another one. Peace!